Is judgment, subconscious or otherwise, are labels also somehow sabotaging your progress to stick to your desired healthy diet? And what do I mean by all that? Stick around to find out. And welcome to this video. My name is Tumí. I am a poet, I am a dancer, I'm a medical doctor of now 20 plus years, holistic minded. I help people create and enjoy their most deliciously healthy bodies and lives without pharmaceuticals, without punishing exercises, and without restrictive diet mindset. If any of that sounds interesting, then click subscribe down below. So, let's get into it. Do judgment and labels sabotage your diet process and progress? Well, I want to share with you a clip from my recent Q&A with my beautiful members of my membership program called Your Delicious Life. And in this program, I'm guiding people to create and live their most delicious, healthiest, and most conscious lives. We had a beautiful question around wanting to stick to a certain diet, but still finding that there was so much of a struggle. So I wanted to offer something that could really get through that standstill, get through that plateau. And here is what it was. My question this month concerns transitioning to a fully raw vegan diet. I currently eat some days raw, but some days high raw with cooked meal being at dinner time. I decided late last year to honor my body and spirit by not giving myself a deadline to be fully raw or pushing myself to do it overnight or through a 30-day challenge. Instead, I'm allowing things to naturally take their course, and I have found this to be extremely effective in eliminating all the unhealthy cooked food from my diet. That being said, I cannot seem to get past the last hurdle of eliminating the cooked food completely. I've worked on this for the last 6 months, and I'm at a standstill of ideas to implement my goal of being fully raw. This is my SMART goal for this year, and I'm giving myself until the fall to achieve it. What are some suggestions of things or ideas on how to finally eliminate the last cooked foods from my diet? How do I transition successfully? I love this question. And I believe questions to be so helpful to find clarity. And so I'm going to give you a couple of questions for you to answer this question, and then some more thoughts. Here's question number 1. Is your goal to be fully raw? Is your goal to be fully raw? Or is it to just eliminate unhealthy cooked foods? Is your goal to be fully raw, or is it to just eliminate unhealthy cooked foods? This is extremely important to get clear, because if your goal is to simply eliminate unhealthy cooked foods, then your goal is not to be fully raw. And that can seem like a duh statement, but I want to say that because there's been languaging around wanting to eliminate unhealthy cooked foods, not wanting the label or not needing the label of all raw. So is it that you just want to eliminate unhealthy cooked foods? Or is it that you want to eliminate all cooked foods? And that leads me to my second question. Do you see all cooked foods as unhealthy? Do you see all cooked foods as unhealthy? I think answering these questions for yourself, not caring or not putting attention to what gurus say, but what you believe based on your experience, your knowledge, what we've shared here in the orchard that you resonate with, that will give you so much clarity about what your true goal is. If you don't see all cooked food as unhealthy, then why do you want to be fully raw? So there are 3 questions. If you don't see all cooked foods as unhealthy, why do you want to be fully raw if you see some cooked foods as being healthy? It's a good one to sit with. Now here's what I want to share based on my experience. It is so important to get clear on your why for your goal. It needs to be a deeply internally sourced why. Because if it's not, if it comes from what people say to do, what gurus say to do, I've found that it doesn't stick. I'm going to share with you my personal reason for why I stick to an all raw diet. And that is simply because outside of science, outside of evolutionary or anatomic and physiologic reasons, outside of what some people, some gurus say, outside even of my experience of now 20 years, 21 years as a physician and a holistically minded physician, outside of all of that, I stick personally to an all raw diet, all raw vegan diet, because I feel my absolute best on it. And I deserve to feel my absolute best. I don't want to feel anything less than that. I don't want to live anything less than my potential. And so for me, that means eating the food that helps me feel and thrive at my best. And that for me is raw vegan, 100% raw, for me. You don't have to vilify cooked food. I don't. You don't have to label cooked food as evil. And if that doesn't resonate with you and you're decided that you want to be fully raw, but you don't like that label that cooked food is evil, you don't have to take on that label. You don't have to take on that belief system. You can still choose to be all raw and feel that cooked food is fine for some people. I know people, my beloved is one of them, who thrives on some cooked plant foods, healthy whole foods. But just because you know people who thrive on that doesn't mean that that's what works for you. And so I think getting very clear about, again, your own personal why, without needing to vilify anything else, is so liberating. And if there's some subconscious part of you that feels that if you choose fully raw, you're somehow labeling or judging people, there will be a subconscious rejection of fully raw because you're a loving, empathic person. But if you understand that both those things can exist, you giving yourself what helps you feel your best, and if that's fully raw, great. And if that's some cooked healthy foods, great, while holding space for everybody else's choice. When you see that those things can occupy the same expansiveness that is your gorgeous, loving spirit, there's liberation, and more than liberation, it is so much more easeful to stick to your intention. So it becomes easy to say, that's not my food, whatever you decide is not your food. Not because of labels, not because of anything else, no gurus, no books, no even science, more than that, beyond that, but because of an inner sourced, clarified reason that comes from your experience and from your spirit. I hope you really resonated with that and that you found something of true value to you. I do Q&As every month with the members of my membership program. It's a beautiful online community, and I feel that one of the things that I find people struggle with so much is cravings and sticking to their diet plan. I have been thriving on what people would say is a very hard diet to stick to, a fruit-based raw vegan diet for now 13 plus years, thriving on that. And I guide thousands of people in sticking to healthy diets and achieving and maintaining their best and healthiest bodies. If you're interested in really working with me one-on-one and getting to the root cause of your struggles with food and diet and sticking to your diet plan, then I invite you to click on the link in the description box down below where you can set up a free 10 to 15 minute call with me to see how I can be of greater service to you. I send you so much love wherever you are. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with anyone you think might benefit, and I'll see you in the next one.